Legends, welcome to another episode of the Ruck Report, round 9. If you are joining us for the first time, thank you for coming. It's always a fantastic experience to review a round of footy that was. Of course, joining me today, the one and only, the Dongle. Ryan, how are you, mate?
Hey, how you doing, mate? I'm very good, thank you. Bit pumped up after that game. It's a bit fiery end to the finish, but it was good, mate. Yeah. How are you, mate?
Mate, I'm fantastic. It certainly was, and we'll go through these games. But how crazy was that finish in the Melbourne Raiders game? But mate, let's go all the way back. Of course, Magic Round. What an experience! We'll go back to Friday night now. Your Sharkies, mate, took on the Parramatta Eels. Sharkies getting it done 28-18. Good game. I thought Eels came out of the box pretty hard, which was good to see. Of course, Mitch Moses back. He was back last week. The week before they had the bye last week. But Mitch Moses has been the big difference for the Eels. Mate, your Sharkies coming off a loss. Do you think they look better?
Yeah, definitely looked better. I guess I had a few calls go our way as well, particularly the Ronaldo Militalo no try, I guess, and then in the same motion, I guess the hand movement that made it appear like he had the ball stripped off him. I think that was a bit. We definitely got kissed on the dick there. I think yeah, heels are a bit hard done by, but I'm not going to complain, mate. I'd be fuming if I was on the other side. But yeah, we definitely played much better than what we did against the Tigers last week. Parrot, like you said, yeah, they came out really strong. Mitch Moses again was fantastic. Dylan Brown played off the back of him really, really well. Just a great game to watch. I think obviously quite enjoyed it, but nonetheless an exciting game as well. Like pretty happy to see the Sharks get a good win. I wasn't overly confident as a Sharks fan going into it, to be fair, but it's good to get the result nonetheless.
Mate, the best part was my my multi getting up in this game. Of course, I had Stone Street for a double, Nickera, and of course
Yeah,
Adokar anytime. So a nice little 240 there, which started the week well. Of course, winning no others for the rest of the week, as goes betting.
yes.
But mate, we'll jump into the second Friday night game. What a game this was! The Roosters against the Dolphins. Now, incredible scenes here. Roosters getting it done 36-26. Mate, interesting game. Roosters now 2 in a row. You know, a
Yep.
lot of people, as we've spoken on over the year, a lot of people wrote off the Roosters at the start of the season. You know, they lost too many players. They won't do this, blah, blah, blah. They've now won 2 in a row. They got a bye next week. That puts them about 9th after that bye. So they'll be a one win outside the top 8. Mate, are they starting to build?
Yeah, it's hard to imagine. Just a couple of weeks ago we were kind of giving you shit about being second last place. And the Panthers would be battling out for the wooden spoon, but hey, here we are. Talk about a great win though. I think all the Roosters, every single one of them showed up, done exactly what
Yeah.
they're meant to do. Not to discredit the Dolphins, I don't think they were great either. To be fair, they definitely looked pretty average in majority of the game. They still had some individual bits of brilliance there particularly from Hamiso. I think he had an excellent game as well. But yeah, the Roosters were. I don't think they really did much wrong. Yeah, like they almost got 40 on
Nah.
them. So great game nonetheless. What do you make of it?
Yeah, mate, I thought it was good, especially Sandon went off in the first 3 minutes, and I thought
Mm.
this is going to be tough to win. Obviously, he was outstanding last week on Anzac Day, but Connor Watson fills the spot so well, and he's such a great utility player that he just filled that role with ease, and Zach Docker-Clay straight into the hooker role. So it's not too bad because we do have the bye next week, so Sandon actually won't miss any footy, which is fantastic. Really impressed with Tedesco. I think he is just having the best season. Oh, look, form's consistent. He's always been a fantastic fullback. I think a couple of years ago he died off a little bit. Last year he was 1 point off at Dally M. I think at this rate, if they're talking Origin, if you're basing it on form, they have to pick Tedesco at fullback. I don't really think you can pick Edwards based on how Teddy's playing. As a Roosters fan, I don't want him picked for Origin because I want him over that period. I'm really trying to plead with Laurie to actually pick Edwards, but I think they're going to go with Teddy at the moment. But I really enjoyed the performance. I thought Dolphins surprised me. You know, they beat Melbourne, they beat Penrith a couple of weeks ago. Then last week they were up against the Raiders and they lost that game. But I don't know what happened in this game. They just looked a bit lazier, just like
Yeah.
things weren't working. The errors were creeping up and it wasn't good. If you are watching on Instagram Live or on YouTube as well, please send through your comments. We will answer them as we go. All right, mate, let's jump into a bit of Saturday footy now. fantastic games again. Magic round, it lived up to the hype, mate. Rabbitohs v Knights. Knights finally getting a win after 5 losses in a row,
Yeah.
30-4, and not just winning, but absolutely flogging the Rabbitohs.
Winning well, yeah. Like I did not see that coming. I didn't catch the game, but definitely caught highlights of it this morning. Yeah, like it just looked absolutely miserable. The conditions there they all played in, but yeah, credit to the Knights showing up finally. Yeah, like I know we've been talking the last few weeks on the pod about Adam O'Brien being under some pressure and maybe not making it after this week, but gee, you got to give him another week, don't you? They really showed up and put a number on the poor old bunnies, didn't they?
Mate, I told you it's the one last holiday. I think now that he's got the holiday out of the way, the Knights will lose this week, and then we'll see O'Brien sacked within a fortnight. But look, I did tip the Knights for the upset in this game, so I was pretty happy with that. But the Rabbitohs, just too many out. Latrell, Cody Walker, Jack Whiten was ruled out before the game. I mean, you're never going to win when half your team's out. Credit to the Knights, though, not taking away from their amazing performance. Fletcher Sharp, mate, hat trick. He's played so well at 5'8". It's funny how everyone sort of, slandered the Knights and him in general about moving into that role. Oh, he's a winger, he's a fullback, he's not a 5'8", but he has adjusted so well and he's carving up at the moment. So really good to see. And I think
it's kind of hard to get singled out. I think he's been one of their best, amongst like he's sort of stuck out amongst the shit that they had been really the last few weeks. So I think he's been easily their best as it's been going on. So I don't know if I dare say a lot of that criticism's kind of unwarranted, maybe, but good on him for sticking up or showing up and scoring a hat trick. That's awesome.
Yeah, I completely agree. Where to for the Rabbitohs? They need to get some troops back to win some more games. But let's jump into a second Saturday game. It was the Wars against the Cowboys. Now, mate, what a game this was. First half was all the Warriors, and we're all eating our tips going, oh, here we go. Warriors are going to win this again. They're just carving up this season. Enter the Cowboys in the second half, and the Cowboys almost getting it done, mate.
Yeah, relentless in the second half. What a game of footy. Really liked this one. It was awesome to watch.
Fantastic.
The fans as well. Like at the end, they were showing some of the scenes there and like some of the chants they were doing. It was just awesome to see. Really great. New Zealand got the win. Unlucky with the Cowboys though. Geez, they played well, and I think Nane, one of his best games he's played this year. Pretty unfortunate they didn't get the win. I took the Warriors though, so I'm not too concerned there. But what a game! What a brilliant game! Really back and forth, like hard contest, grueling contest. Yeah, I think one of my favourite games this weekend. I think was definitely the Wires and the Cowboys. What a game!
Yeah, me too, mate. It was. I was on the edge of my seat the whole game. The Warriors have looked really good this season. I think they've sort of defied expectations from a lot of people. A lot of people had them down in the bottom four. I know I had them for the spoon this year, so I'm starting to eat my words a little bit. But the Cowboys made as well. Like they've won a couple in a row now. They're looking really good. Those that are watching on the Instagram Live, any comments on the Cowboys or Warriors, get them in because, we're really impressed with how they're going. A couple of my friends who are mad Warriors fans were at Magic Round, and they said the scenes there were absolutely incredible. All the Wars fans were out, and they were in force, and they were dancing around at halftime. And in the second half, they were a bit quieter until full time, and then they came back up again. But look, credit to the Warriors for getting it done. Mate, we jump into our third Saturday game. It was the West Tigers against the Dragons. Now, Tigers getting it done. 34-28. This was another one that I went for the upset. I went for the Dragons to get up in this one. And then, look, they looked good early. They looked pretty good. But the Tigers just built into the game, mate.
Yeah, they definitely had a game plan. They tried to stick to it, yeah. A lot of handling errors too. I think cost the Dragons, I think a bit too much. The Tigers were the same though. They let them back in for quite a fair bit there. I thought, here we go. Like it was really try for such a long time there. And then, I think the Tigers just prevailed. Poor Dragons couldn't catch a break. Great game to watch though, regardless. Like really, really interesting. Yeah, what'd you make of it? Did you?
Mate, look, I was on TBC, obviously doing the admin for TBC that day, but I was impressed with what I've seen from the Tigers, and I have been all year. The Tigers of old, they would have lost this game pretty easily. They would have gone into their shell if the Dragons had scored a couple of tries, but not this Tigers team. they're just looking so much better. But the handling errors really let the Dragons down. That Jaden Seward try, I mean, you score that for all money, don't you? I mean, how I don't know how you knock
Yep.
that on over the
Mm.
line. So,
Over the
but
line, yeah. It
it
really cost
wasn't good for the
them. Yeah.
Dragons.
Nah,
Did not help
it
them
was.
at all.
They would have been right back in the game, and then the Tigers scored like straight away after, pretty much right after the second half began. They were in again, and then like what
Yeah.
was meant to be like a nice tight scoreline there just seemed like it was starting to blow out a little bit. So it
Hey,
probably
I
would
just
have
want to
defeated
reach
them a
out though,
bit. Yeah,
Tigers fans, if you're watching the live right now, get in contact with us. Tell us what you're loving about the Tigers this year because it's so good to see. They're in their favourite position of ninth, as they were for many years. So good to see them back at ninth and doing really well. But look, can they make the top 8? Who knows? Remains to be seen. We still have a long way to go in the competition. But no comments at the moment. Please get your comments in. We will answer everything we can. Let's jump into our first Sunday game. Of course, today, day 3 of Magic Round. The Titans against the Bulldogs. Bulldogs back in the winner's circle, getting it done 38-18. Massive performance in this one.
yeah,
Mate, I don't
yep.
think we were in doubt that the Bulldogs will win this game.
I wasn't. Yeah, maybe at half time. I was a bit skeptical there.
Yeah,
They were
true.
definitely the second half team, weren't they? Yeah. I think the Titans were unlucky to be behind. I think at half time. And then the second half it kind of just went. I think as we all expected the entire game would go. Like the Titans were lucky it wasn't a little bit more. Like not to say the
Yep.
Bulldogs were perfect. They still had their fair share of pretty average play. At the end of the second half, the game kind of did kind of lose its interest, but a little bit there. But still, nonetheless, great takeaway though from the Bulldogs to get back in the winner's circle after their pumping last Thursday night, wasn't it? So I think
Absolutely, mate.
they should still be pretty happy with that.
Yeah, look, we have a question from Jersey Exchange Co. And he said, where do the Titans go from here? Surely Des stays and players get cleaned out. I don't know. We spoke about this on the pod last week or the week before, and I was talking about the two coaches under the most pressure for me are AOB and Desi Hasler. And obviously AOB with how the Knights are going, and Desi Hasler because he's such a good coach, but he's
Yeah.
just not getting the most out of the Titans. But no coach has, unfortunately.
Mm.
I really liked Neil Henry originally when he was at the Titans, but it
Yeah.
just seems that like coaches that go there, it's a bit of a dying ground. So
Yeah.
it's really hard to coach that team. But look, thank you for that comment, Jersey Exchange Co. Do what do you think, Dongle? Do you think that Des stays, players get cleaned out, or do you think Des goes and they still clean out the players?
Hard to say. They have had to shuffle the team a little bit, or quite a fair bit, I should say, like to start the
Yeah,
year. So I'm not too sure. Like getting rid of Des is the answer. There's not really a great deal of coaches on the market either,
nah, not
So you got to trust Des. Yeah, he's got the resume to back it up. But
yeah,
there are rumours. He's not really getting on with Dave Fifita and whatnot. Like that's definitely probably causing a bit of rift between the playing group too. But I mean, it's the Bulldogs as well. I mean, like this, they were right in it at half time, or right up to half
oh
time.
for sure,
Like
for sure,
and if getting rid of Des is the right call, I think he's got to at least see out the year, and see where they can go from there. They had the bye in the first round. They had a few good wins. Like I think round 2 and 3, they came out and they done really well. Yeah, they've really slumped since then, but still some really promising signs on the Titans. Like I don't think they're going to be bottom 2 or 3 this year. I think they're
yeah.
going to be close to the edge of the 8, but I don't think they'll make the top 8, but definitely close-ish to the top there. Yeah, once they get like players like Kenny and everything back too, like I think they'll be quite competitive again.
Yeah, for sure, mate. We got a couple of comments here. So, good mate of mine, Toby Thompson, he said CEO said he was safe. So, in regards to Des.
Yep.
And then Jersey Exchange Co. said, I only say Des stays because of the way they sacked Holbrook and the way they went about it. Obviously, they wanted him and wanted to see this through with him. So, yeah, well, that is very true. I think you don't make a play for a coach like Des if you're going to sack him, after 1 or 2 seasons. So,
Sense,
he probably stays. Let's jump into our next Sunday game. It was the Panthers against the Broncos. Now, I think this sort of surprised everyone. Panthers getting it done 32-8. Mate, is it the CommBank curse? Because they seem to play great away from home, but at home they can't win.
Yeah, they can't win. Yeah, all the memes are up now, aren't they? Yeah, about the CommBank curse and the Jaden Smith. I hate it here. You can't win here. So yeah, Talk about hot and
Uh,
cold though. Brisbane, they came
oh
out really
yeah,
good really early. The Benny Hunt try was great in the first like couple of minutes of the game. I thought, oh, this could be all over here for Penrith already, and then they done nothing from there. It was they were woeful. Yeah, like talk about hot and cold. They
yeah,
spanked the Bulldogs last
absolutely.
week, and then they were coming first, and then they played the Wooden Spooners this week to put up that score, put up that effort, which was just alarming to see. Nothing to discredit Penrith though. They were brilliant. They got it done. They made it look easy. They just kept the pressure on when they needed to, and they done everything that the Penrith of old you sort of expect from Penrith anyway. So great to
Yeah,
great to see them get
I
up.
thought
But
Cleary had his best game. Cleary was really good in this one, and he needed to be. I think Penrith really needed to make a statement that they are a better team than last, and
yeah,
I think they sort of made that statement against this, as you said, hot and cold Broncos team. Start of the year, we all, a few of us had Broncos for the grand final. I thought they were gonna go pretty well. I mean, we are only in round 9, but they're just really hard to get a read on. You look
yeah,
at their game
yeah,
against the Bulldogs last week, and they were absolutely flying with Cobbo at fullback, and that was a wet weather game as well. And then they play this game on a dry track, and they can't beat the Penrith Panthers, who have lost almost everyone in the comp. So
yeah.
yeah, it's a really interesting one. And if you're watching on the Instagram live, of course, please send through your comments on Penrith's form at the moment. Now, I heard they need to win. I think it is 10 from their last 16. Do we think they can do it?
Yeah, I think Penrith can. Yeah, if any team
Yeah,
can,
wow.
it's got to be Penrith. You know, like
Yeah,
I think they'll get. I reckon they'll scrape into the 8. Yeah, maybe see them around
it
that
is
6, 7 kind of
huge
place.
call,
I think they'll.
massive
I think
call,
they'll
mate.
definitely get there. Yeah, big call, but we know Penrith, don't we? So
Well,
you
that's
never
it.
count them out. And
Yeah,
yeah, I don't want to get
absolutely.
stabbed walking to work tomorrow. So it's good.
Broncos will be interesting, mate. Whether they can continue the form that we saw, round 1, putting 50 points on the Chooks. If they can get back to that, they should be a premiership threat. But it just remains to be seen. We'll just check. There's no comments at the
Yeah,
moment. All right, and our last game for the week that we just finished witnessing: Storm v Raiders. Raiders getting it done 20-18 in Golden Point. Now, mate, this game had absolutely
yeah,
everything
yeah,
you could ask for. Look, it had some great scoring opportunities. It had sin bins. It had high tackles. It had Golden Point. It was
yeah,
what a game, mate.
yeah, absolutely. And you're right, had absolutely everything. Just really high intensity game too. Like I like those kind of games where you can tell like they're really getting under each other's skin. There's like the intensity's massive, the tackles are massive, like big hits. Like it's exactly what you want to see. And it was a great way
Yeah,
to end up finishing up or winding up the Magic round there. But unfortunately, it ended with that high tackle penalty. I guess we might dive in a little bit more tomorrow night with the other boys, but yeah, I don't know about that one. Good enough to get your input on that, but yeah, nonetheless,
yeah,
seeing another game decided in Golden Point by a penalty, it's for conversion. 20 out in front when it looks like Melbourne were pretty much guaranteed to take that field goal. Hughes and Pappenhausen were both settled in pretty well, and then I think who was it there? Was it Okamanu? And
yeah. You're tweaking Manu, yeah,
yeah,
and
then
Papali'i got sin
then
binned.
Papali'i, sent to the sin bin for just some shit scuffle. Yes,
But
they
even that,
kind of
mate, like even that, I didn't think there was much in that at all. I mean, Yutoi Kimanu's just trying to get him off him, and yeah,
yeah,
like he gives him a bit of a niggle and push, but that's play on for me. Like,
yeah. I
we
think
we
that's good.
just
Yeah,
we just had last round of 18 sin bins, and don't get me wrong, this round was refed 100% better, and
oh
I
yeah,
thought
yeah,
it was a really good to see Magic round wasn't
yeah,
ruined by the sin bins.
yeah,
I think there was only 3 sin bins the whole week, but
yeah,
in a
yeah.
case like that where it's Golden Point, like there's nothing in it, and I don't
No,
think Raiders fans would have been calling for him to be off anyway. Like
no,
there
no.
was hardly anything in it, and it just took away from the awesome performance that Storm and Raiders dished out. But mate,
Yeah, it
fantastic
did.
game
Yeah,
for the Raiders. Ended up me getting 4 from 8 because Raiders won, so
yeah,
50%. Not a great week for tipping. Mate, let's talk about Magic Round as a whole now. I think it's such a great concept, and I don't think any state or any other place could do it better than what Brisbane does. They run it so well. They've got the Caxton there, and
mm,
it's just been awesome. And
yeah,
it's it's really great to see you. We're going to try and get there next year as a podcast. It'll be really good to see if we can. We'll save our pennies now and ask all the wives now. Quick comment from Harrison Smith. Harrison Smith, of course, the international cricket sensation. He wrote, I think Penrith winning was a highlight of today. Mate, I'm very happy for you. At least we won't have a sad Harry tomorrow when we do our recording. So it's very good to see. Before we finish up, does anyone else have any questions or any comments they would like to send through? Send through. We'll give you about 5 minutes. If you don't, that'll be it for the Ruck Report for tonight. But Dongle, anything else to add?
No, it was a really great Magic round, yeah. Like you said, I don't think any other state or any other stadium could probably do it as good as Brisbane. They're definitely the place to do it. Like they just love their rugby league. Like all those Queenslander fans there, like that hub there in Brisbane. They're just league mad, aren't they? So brilliant to see. The pitch, I guess, would be a talking point too. What did you make of that? It was they did pitch repairs on Wednesday and Thursday. It held up pretty well. It just hit me the 10 meters in to the 10 meters back. Was just, you could tell, it was just struggling there. It was really torn up in the middle part. It
was something they tried to fix from last year, because I know last year by the last game, it was all torn up. So I think they were trying to fix that. I thought it held out okay. We didn't see too many injuries, which was good. Often if the turf is bad, you do see a lot of ankle injuries, syndesmosis and things like that. But I personally haven't seen many. I was pretty intent with the footy this week, being admin on TBC Live. So shout out to TBC as well. A fantastic week of rugby league. But Harry said, even the Mars, great to see the boys get up in a climatic finish. Yes, mate, it was absolutely fantastic. But look, that's all we got time for the Ruck Report. Don't forget, you can check us out on all social media, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, X, Spotify, YouTube, and Apple Podcasts as well. Please go follow, like, subscribe. Send us some comments. You can email us at the Ruck Infringement Pod at gmail.com. So send us an email, get in contact. We love to hear from you. And until next time, that's the Dongle. I'm the Prophet. Be good.